Hey, so this is going to be a rambling video just about various gaming related news topics that are interesting to me. So I like to browse the Steam Reddit every now and again. There's some interesting news that pop up every so often. So the first topic I wanted to go over is a story about Mav. It's all the way down here, right here. Mav dev explains why he's pulling the game from Steam. So it's very rare for developers to remove their games from Steam. It's actually kind of difficult to get your games on Steam to begin with. So let's go ahead and just click on this and go to that story. Important announcement, Steam support ending. First, Mav will no longer be available to purchase on Steam starting September 1st. So what is Mav? This is Mav. Mav is a sort of mech multiplayer action arena type game. And I'll just play the trailer real quick. You can assemble your little mech and you take your mech out into battle and you play like 2v2 or 4v4 battles against other players. It's very, very similar to a game called Chrome Hounds, which was released on the Xbox 360. But this is for PC, and PC has never gotten a game quite like this. So I'm just going to pause it here, and I want to show you what Chrome Hounds is, because it's pretty much an exact copy of what Mav is trying to be. So Mav is certainly not a original IP by any means. As you can see here, well, it's zoomed in right now, but as you can see, the trailer of Mav and this little video of Chrome Hounds looks almost identical. I'm going to assume that Chrome Hounds is far more polished than Mav, just because I think Mav is only made by one developer, or maybe only a couple, and it's in early access, so of course it's not finished. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of issues going along with Mav, but it looks like a good game. Honestly, I would probably buy it if it was out of early access and if it was maybe a little cheaper. It's currently $19.99. So, now that you know what Mav is, let's go ahead and go to the story of why the developer is, why the developer is removing the game from Steam. What's wrong? So let's go ahead and scroll down. Why did I do this? Alright, we're just going to skip through most of this. Let's see. I expected selling Mav on Steam would be a partnership between Bombdog Studios and Steam, a partnership that would help both companies grow. I had the false expectation that being with Steam would be similar to working with a publisher, allowing me to focus on making a game while they focus on selling it. I couldn't be more wrong. So first off, right here, I think the developer is kind of having sort of he's not really understanding what Steam is as a platform. He's basically saying that he thought that Steam would be actively trying to promote and sell his game. Even though his game's not finished, he thought that Steam would work with him to increase sales, which is not entirely true. Alright, let's go on to the next point. Steam does not bring more sales. Let's see. Alright, so here he says what actually happened is people stopped linking to Bombdog Studio site, Steam started ranking higher in search results, and eventually Steam had cannibalized over 60% of the traffic I was normally getting. Worse, the Steam page is not designed in a way to actually sell the game or inform people about the game, so it converted less people to actually buying the game. So here he's saying that this page here is not informative enough to get people interested in the game. It doesn't tell you enough about the game to make you want to purchase it. And he's saying that Steam kind of stole the search traffic that he was getting prior, of people actively going on Google and searching the game and then going to the website and finding more information about it. So he's essentially saying that Steam is stealing traffic from his website, and it somehow brought down the sales numbers. So let's keep on going. Steam takes a cut of every sale. It's not a insignificant cut. Every sale that happens through Steam and not on Bombdog Studio site is costing Mav money. So this is kind of a greedy issue here, a greed issue. So like most retailers, Steam takes about 30% of every sale on the platform. A lot of other distributors do the same exact thing. It's not anything new, but Valve, the owners of Steam, take about 30% of the profit that is made from every Steam sale. So since Mav is sold for $20, They take 30% of that, which is about $6. So the developer's only getting about $14 per sale. If I did the math there right, I'm not sure. I'm just talking off my head here. So he's kind of upset about that. And he's basically saying that he wishes that he could sell the game on his own site alone so that he can offer a greater discounts and greater sales so that people can get the game cheaper without costing him money. And this is kind of all hypothetical because he's not really getting the money until he makes the sale. But essentially what he wants to do is he wants to, like, say, sell it on his site for $15, which would get him the full $15, which would be more than what he would get for selling it on Steam for $20, which is completely true and understandable. It's a good point. But again, Steam is the best place to sell your game. The most users are on Steam. I know as a PC user myself, a heavily invested PC user, that people who game on PC do not like buying games like from third-party sites. They do not like buying from like random companies that sell their game like by themselves. They like to have all their games on Steam. They like to buy through Steam or other big name companies like, say, Blizzard or Origin or Uplay. That's pretty much the only places where people actively like to invest in games. Other games that try not to support Steam, they generally don't do too well. So I just wanted to put that out there. Here is where we get into some of the points that don't make a whole lot of sense. So here he says Steam users are 70% less likely to participate in the community. And he basically goes on to say that he would rather have a small community of active players than a large community of players that don't participate in helping the game like come out of early access, I guess. So I don't know what to say about this. I mean, obviously on Steam your sales are going to be larger, which means there's going to be more people that don't actually play your game as often, and there's not going to be people like heavily invested. I think he thinks that if he doesn't sell his game on Steam, there's going to be more people who buy the game who are truly like hardcore about Mav and they play it every day, and those are the type of players he's interested in, and he's not really interested in anyone else. He doesn't want like noobs coming in. He doesn't want people that buy the game and only play it for a few days and then stop playing it. He wants the hardcore gamers, and I suppose that's true, but again, that's just an insult to Steam, the entire Steam community as a whole. There's a lot of people out there that support games on Steam and are active in the community for the games that they like. Just because people don't like your game and are not actively involved in the community doesn't mean that it's Steam's fault per se. So just continuing on, Steam is not a partnership. The support you get as a developer is about on par as the support you get as a user, basically zero. So Steam doesn't have great support. So here he's basically saying that Steam support is awful for developers, and he's kind of claiming here that Steam support should be better because he, as a developer, is generating money for Steam by releasing his game on Steam, which I would agree with that point because Steam is taking 30% of every sale, so they should at least give him the courtesy of supporting whatever his issues may be. And there's a lot of different issues that can go along. So Steam support is slowing down development. I've spent at least 6 months of dedicated development time supporting Steam builds, Steam accounts, and getting it all to work with what I had already created. There are some features that have been delayed due to the incompatibilities with how Steam has done the how Steam has done the implementation and how I had it done on my end. So this issue here, what I just read right here, hopefully you can read this. It might be too small. I should probably zoom in a little bit. So this point, he's basically saying that it's difficult to program online games using Steam's Steam's infrastructure, I guess I say, using Steam accounts to sign in and to connect to other players online, and it takes a lot of development time, which is another true point, I suppose. If you make your game that's off Steam, you'd have to make a way for people to set up their own account and then use your own servers and so forth. So I guess that's true in a way. Steam is holding Mav back. I've wanted to do quite a few interesting things with Mav, but I always stopped when it came to trying to make it equal between Steam accounts and Bombdog accounts. From simple things like squad packs, Steam no longer offers 4 packs. Alright, I'm just going to skip ahead. This even extends the pricing. Mav was $10 and $20 for the longest time, but Steam refused to allow me to keep that pricing. $19.99 became the new normal. It's incredibly disheartening to embark on your own passion project, start your own company, do all the work just to have someone force you to change minor things about how you choose to run your business. This point is incredibly stupid, okay? He's basically complaining that Steam forced him to sell his game at $19.99 instead of $20. And the reason why this is dumb, and I found this from another user, if you go to the shop, let me just open this in a new tab, and you go to game packages for Mav beta digital download is $19.99. So he's complaining that Steam doesn't allow him to sell his game at $20 instead of $19.99, but he himself sells the game at $19.99 on his own website. What in the world is he talking about here? It doesn't make any sense. And then he also complains that he's not able to offer 4 packs, which I don't understand how this is going to work, but I'm guessing only certain developers can offer 4 packs and like 3 packs and 2 packs. There's like deals that go along with that. It's really a minor thing that's not really that beneficial. It just helps you save money in the long run. So he's just mad that Steam wouldn't let him offer a 4 pack. So yeah, let's keep on going. The most disheartening thing of all of this is that these rules don't apply to everyone. If your game is large enough, Steam will let you do anything you want. When I said I wanted to stay priced at $20 and raise prices over time, I was said no. So he's wanting to raise prices over time. That is surprising. I do not believe that Mav is a good enough game to be priced at higher than $20. Even though it does look pretty good. Okay, I'll give it that. It's not a game that anyone would pay over $20 for, I'll have to say. And then continuing on, I didn't start Mav and hopefully I'm saying this right, Bombdog Studios to bend over and let another company tell me what to do. Do I expect fallout from this choice? Yes. Do I really care? Not really. Mav was doing much better on its own long before it went on Steam. I expect it to go back to that soon enough. So here he's basically just pissed at Steam for, I don't know, these what he's saying here is really just silly in my opinion. He's basically saying that Steam's not supporting him as a developer. They're not promoting his sales or promoting the game of Mav to get him sales, and they're taking 30% cut of every sale, making it harder for him to make money. Even though the game is not even finished and it's in early access, which means it's basically like half of a game, and he's expecting to generate a lot of revenue from this. And what he's not really realizing what he's not realizing here is that one of the reasons why he's not selling or he's not getting many sales from this game is because of the user reviews. They're mixed, which means the game is not great. If I scroll down here, it does have a lot of positive reviews, but a lot of people don't like it, and there's a lot of reasons why they don't like it. And a lot of the reasons may just be because it's in early access, it's not finished yet, and I could understand why a developer would be upset that the user reviews are poor in early access, but you have to keep in mind that the game is not finished. Finish your game first before you start complaining about low sales numbers. You should be privileged to know that people are paying into your game before it's even released. I don't know. I just wanted to go over these points. I thought it was kind of funny. And then he says, what can you do to help? And then he's basically saying that you should direct all traffic to Bombdog Studios forums, and that you should spread this to other indie developers and tell them not to support Steam and to get off of Steam while you still can. And I don't know, it's funny. And then he said he's going on Twitch tomorrow at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Yeah, just an interesting topic. I know I spent way too much time covering it. The game does look like a good game. It's kind of sad to see it go from Steam, but at the same time, with a developer like that, I'm not really that sorry. I'm sure that his sales are going to drop dramatically when this game gets off of Steam, and then he's probably going to bring it back once the game is finished, and then he's going to have a completely new review score, and it'll probably change to positive, and then he'll start getting a lot more positive ratings if he decides to bring it back to Steam. But for now, I don't think anyone's really sad to see this game get off of Steam, except maybe the players. If I bought this game on Steam and saw that the developer was taking it off of Steam, I would be kind of pissed right now. But it's a good thing I didn't buy this game. I was actually thinking about it during the last summer sale, but decided not to. And I really liked Chrome Hounds. Chrome Hounds was one of my favorite games on the Xbox 360. It's a really, really fun, just mech assault game with some very large maps, and it was very like strategical and tactical at the same time. So yeah, let's continue on. The next news story is not nearly as long. Let me just, I guess, back up. It's at the top of Steam right now. It's really new. But Steam spies Sergi on returning removed games. So that is here. There's a little article here. So before I begin, if you don't know what Steam Spy is, Steam Spy, let's see, do I have it open or did I? Yeah, here's Steam Spy. So Steam Spy is a website that lets you track the sales numbers of every game on Steam. So for instance, if I go to a random game like Deus Ex Mankind, it just released, I think this week or last week. If I scroll down here to the left, I'm not sure how well you can see this. Well, you can see a chart on the right as well, but you can see the pricing. You can see how many owners there are. You can see how many players in the last 2 weeks, players total, and all sorts of different stats. But the main issue here is the owners. By seeing how many people own the game, you can multiply this by the price. So if I let's just do it real quick. Take out a calculator and do 239,400 times, oops, well, I'll just do times 60, equals about $14,364,000 in sales so far. And this is a new game, by the way. So the issue here is that this number is revealed to everyone to see. So everyone knows the financial information of every game on Steam, and therefore we know how much money Steam is making, how much money the developers are making. If it's an indie game, we know how much money like that independent developer has made in a given time frame. It's just leaked information about the sales figures. So the story here is that the guy who made Steam Spy, he had a policy where game companies could come to him and tell him to remove their game from Steam Spy, and he would do it. He wasn't obligated to do it, but that was just his policy. But now he decided to change the policy where game studios can no longer ask him to remove games from Steam Spy, and the information is open to everyone, and there's no way to remove it. All right, so the story here, and I know that was kind of long, but the story here, this guy named Mike Futter, he is Game Informer's Mike Futter. He works for Game Informer. I don't think he's a game developer. I just think he's a writer or a what do you call it, like a journalist, a gaming journalist. So he says, Steam Spy is putting lives in danger with its antics. The Kerbal guys asked for removal because of danger in being successful in Mexico City. All right, so here's the issue. I guess the Kerbal Space Engineers, which is a video game. I guess I'll just go on, where is Steam Spy at? Sorry, I have a bunch of tabs open. Let's go back to Steam Spy. So let's go to Kerbal Space Engineers. I'll just type it in. All right, right here. So as you can see, there's a bunch of data here, and players total 1.5 million. This game is extremely popular and has made a ton of money. If we do 1.5 million times 20, that is a lot of freaking money. 1.5 times 20, that's $30 million, which is insane for an indie developed project. So I'm guessing the developers are located in Mexico. And apparently they wanted the information, their sales information, taken off the Steam Spy site because they think that the Mexican mob is going to come and hold them for ransom because they are so successful in their career. I don't know why you would stay in Mexico if you had $30 million, but that's the issue here. And then there's a whole like little Twitter battle going on between the owner of Steam Spy and Mark Futter. I'm not arguing, pointing blah, 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 blah. They're just insulting each other, really. And here he says, if you truly believe Mexican mobs are smart enough to use Steam Spy to calculate revenue, but too dumb to Google. Here he's basically just saying that the financial information for video games and video game companies are already available on Google, so there's no reason that Steam Spy is a problem. And let's see. Yeah, he just keeps on going here. It's not really that big of a deal. But it's just kind of funny to see. I mean, I found this kind of interesting, that someone who's kind of big in the gaming industry, who works at Game Informer, is basically saying that the information on Steam Spy can be used by the Mexican mob to target individual game developers and hold them for ransom and try to take money from them, because this information is known that say, I don't know who made this game, but if I go to like their website, I could probably find the developers of this game, and then I know that each one of the developers are millionaires, and then if I was part of the Mexican mafia or whatever, I can go and go to their house and then kidnap them and hold them for ransom and tell them to give me like $1 million, which they certainly have the money. And that's the problem here. I don't think it's that big of a problem though, because there's a lot of other ways to get that information. You can easily just go to Steam. Let's just go to Steam right now, Kerbal Space Program. And sorry if I'm rambling. I don't know if my thoughts are coming through clearly or not. I just wanted to make a little video about this. So here's Kerbal Space Program. I can see just by this alone, the amount of reviews. I can see that there's, I don't know why I scrolled down, but why does it keep scrolling down? Oh, sorry. There's 32,000 reviews, which means just by that alone, you can see that like 32,000 times 20, or however much this game is. Oops. Yeah, it's 20. It's actually on sale. So it was 40. So let's just do it by 40. So say that 32,000 people bought the game for $40. You can see that this game made 1.2 million. And then if you just go by just estimating that probably 1 out of 10 people leaves a review for the game they purchase on Steam, you just multiply this by 10, and then you can see 12.8 million. This game has obviously generated a lot more than that, so that's a really low estimate, but that's how easy it is to get like sales figures and profit margins, just by estimating. And there's other ways you can actually see how many players are currently playing a game by going up to stats and looking up individual games by stats. There's a lot of different ways to find out financial information other than using Steam Spy. So it's just kind of funny that there was a little argument and a little Twitter battle between the owner of Steam Spy and Mark Futter of Game Informer. Or was that right? I have a short-term memory. Game Informer, yes. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Just interesting little Steam-related topics. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I just like rambling sometimes and going over little news stories. It's just interesting to me. It's just one of my hobbies, going through and reading various news-related topics and just giving my opinion on it. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a nice day.